The general theme is how does it feel to be a hypocrite?
Right. Well, he sounds like a royal dirtbag.
I was wrong about something.
Magnificent! Magnificent! Magnificent!
If we can be with ourselves, if we can understand ourselves, we can love.
It's not my fault nobody can understand what you're saying.
Let's go while we're young.
3, 2, 1. Yeah, just introduce yourself and tell me what you ate for breakfast.
But maybe not. This is all. Did anybody hear anything that I said about being having problems here? Because I've been having issues. I got to tell you, large issues here. When you're doing something right, is what I was saying. I really learned that when you're being attacked and when things are going wrong and it's just one thing after the other, that you're really on the right path and you're doing good things for people. I'm not saying I'm good. I'll never tell you I'm good. But I will tell you that I really try every single day to do good things. And on this path, of really trying to connect the answers to the truth and things like that I've been on since my daughter died in her car crash a dozen years ago. There's been a lot of things and a lot of attacks, but let me tell you what's going on right now. My main large super powered computer server, whatever you want to call it, has been having major issues for about 5 or 6 days. And so many issues that half of the programs that I need to run, I can't even run. And so that's been a whole big thing. And at this point, it completely won't run at all. So I switched to my backup computer on like Tuesday or whatever, so that I could run the show in the morning here on that. And so because of the storm yesterday, I wasn't here, power was out and all that. Hopefully everybody was able to get through that yesterday. I know a lot of places in my area were without power. But at any rate, to get back to this, I'm not sure what we have here. If I'm going to be able to share the screen again today, because about 2 minutes before 6:30. My backup laptop crapped out. Keyboard quit working. I logged in, I got everything tested. Everything seemed to be working okay, but then nothing. It just couldn't type. I couldn't, get into the show, all that kind of stuff. So I went to my really old laptop. I grabbed that quick and got everything logged in. And of course, you have to go through authentications and stuff because we don't want anybody to have access to my accounts, of course, and try and say that they're me because, they won't want to do that anyway. But we're here, and it takes courage to keep pushing through, right? One quote that I really enjoy that is not been we don't know who really actually said it, and it's this quote: "Courage is what it takes to stand up and speak. Courage is also what it takes to sit down and listen." It's attributed to Winston Churchill. However, many people, including a scholar or whatever at Edinburgh University, had said that there's actually no record of Winston Churchill, whether it be in a newspaper or in his writings or anything like that, that there's absolutely no information that states he actually said it. It is a very powerful quote, though, and whoever said it, I think it has a lot to a lot of weight to it, and I think that it's extremely important that we understand what it really means. That's one of the biggest things that we see today, that everybody wants to be right. And the thing is one of the things with courage is it actually takes the ability to understand that while it might not be right, it's not necessarily wrong. It's just a different way of doing it. I think that when you can go online, you can, whatever social media that is, and you can see the left side doing their thing and the right side doing their thing, and whatever, and it's just constantly attacks. It's constantly not the whole story and the whole truth, or whatever you want to say there. And I think that one of these, we're kind of looking at the virtues of Stoicism, and one of the things about courage in those virtues is that it's the ability to act in situations that where we have fear, situations that we don't necessarily like, that we have no control over. There's so many people that are really, really hating on Trump. Obviously, right now, 4 years ago, a lot of people were hating on Biden. Is it justified? Maybe. Is it accurate? Probably not. And that's something that I've really tried diligently to do, and have the courage to just stand up to certain people and say, look, this is just not all the whole truth. This is very, very slanted, and things like that. And I'm going to keep doing that. But we have to remember too that courage is not the absence of fear. It's just that how we act on it. Are we going to keep pushing forward even though that we have that fear, and we know that there's danger and things along those lines? And there's different examples with the Stoics themselves, how courage was displayed or whatever. And one of the things, Emperor Nero, he was a very volatile emperor. He did some very, very horrible things. I actually had the honor and the privilege to be in Rome and visit the Colosseum and everything like that. And it's a very humbling experience, to be sure. And one of the things that Emperor Nero had Seneca the Younger do is actually he had to commit suicide. Nero forced him into suicide. That would be the quote, honorable thing to do because of the way Nero turned out. Now, I want you to think of it like this. Nero and Seneca had quite the relationship. Seneca was the tutor to a younger Nero, and then he became an advisor to Nero. And so there was a lot of influence there that Seneca had with Nero, and yet because of the way that he had turned out, Nero had turned out, eventually, Seneca had to end up committing suicide per Nero's orders. Now, we can sit here and say maybe he should have fled and all these other things, but the courage, I guess, it took, and I don't think suicide is right by any stretch of the means, but it's interesting that he had the courage to do that instead of put other people in potential danger for hiding him or whatever else. Just one example of what that is. Despite the fear that he no doubt had, he did continue with Nero's orders and took his own life. I mean, and we can look at Socrates and stuff like that as well, that was done. But courage is not something that the most courage that, in my opinion, we can have is not something that we conquer or push through and say that we're right and we take over. Courage is actually sitting down and listening. Sitting down and saying, I understand your perspective. I don't think it should be done that way, though. We can still stand up and speak, but sitting down and really listening to that other side and saying, I'm not going to do it that way. I don't think it's the right way to do it, is still okay. But there are many ways to do things. And so I don't know. That's my $18 worth on courage, I guess, this morning, and some of the different actual Stoics examples that we have and what they did for courage when you have that really close relationship with Nero as being his tutor and then his advisor, and he gives you the order to take your life, is undeniable courage that Seneca would not put his family or anybody else in harm's way. So I will say I'm not really sure why. I'd really love more of you to get in here on this. I can't see exactly who's currently viewing and things like that, but it doesn't look like, again, today, because this computer that I had to go to a backup does not have the updated app or whatever for this thing that I have for the show. But so I'm going to draw it right now, and I did these t-shirts last night. We did them. They're prototype t-shirts, and they're going to be on the website. I got to get some computer stuff working right, but they're going to be on the website. We're going to be making them, a bunch of them, over the weekend. So I am going to give this t-shirt away. This is a guy's t-shirt. I forgot to bring and grab the t-shirt for the ladies, but there is a his and a hers. And so I'm going to give two of them away. Maybe you want two like this, or maybe you want two of the ladies, but I'll give one of each away according to whatever size that you need. So here we go. We're going to draw. Anybody else want to get in on the drawing quick? Do it real quick. Hashtag courage for today, and then we'll get you in. But let's see here. It looks like anybody else? All right, let's give it a shot here then. I'm sorry that you can't see this. I guess hopefully you can trust me. All right, Dina, you win. So we're gonna get you get some information here and get you a couple of these shirts. So we will get that figured out and headed your way. So hey, happy Thursday, everybody. Hopefully you made it through the storm okay. I appreciate all the messages. Keep them coming, really, and stand up and speak, and then remember that the other part of courage is to sit down and listen. And I think that's powerfully important. So we'll see you tomorrow morning, 6:30.
You know what I just saw?
Who is this guy?
I call myself podcast because of my podcast.
I have exorcised the demons. This house is clear.
So it's done.
It's done.